Hello and welcome, salutations, and good evening to all. It's Baking with Graveyard, and I'm your host, Graveyard 420. Whoa. What is going on, Miss Dottie D? It's so good to see you. It's so good to see you. Happy Daylight Savings Time. Oh my god, Daylight Savings Time always fucks with me. I slept in a little bit today and did not even think. And then I was like, oh wow, it's way later than I thought. I didn't do anything today. And it's like, it's already like so late. So, but I'm a grave of my word. I'm gonna bake cookies and we're gonna do bread and then probably laps later. I don't know. I'm still sort of like getting locked in. So if you're having sort of like a spacey Sunday, and that makes two of us. I just made a cup of coffee. I'm gonna get this loaf of bread going. And then I'm gonna do cookies while it rises. And then we'll get the bread in the oven. And I'm gonna do, I was just gonna make like chicken and broccoli for dinner or something like that. I'm not even really hungry. I was just gonna make like a little food for later. And then I'll have fresh bread with it. And that's my evening meal. So I'm going to make it with you tonight together. We are having a good one. That's so good to hear. I was thinking about having margaritas with Miss Dottie, like all night. I was like, man, that sounds like, sounds delicious. I would have one. I would have one. I didn't do anything. I'm just starting. I was gonna do like more preliminary, and then I was like, wow. It's 7:40 on my clock, which is not reset, so it's probably almost 9 o'clock in most places, you know, in the Eastern time zone. I gotta hide in bed with some M&Ms, cozy up, chill, and forget about the fact that Monday is coming. Yeah, right, I know. I was gonna just like skip right to games and then I was like, no, I don't have anything to eat. I gotta make the food anyway. So we're gonna just act like it's earlier. You know what I mean? I got the cozy jazz on, and I'm gonna take you through like my whole process. This is like cathartic and cozy and sort of background, but it's also informative and instructional. I know NVH really wants to try and do this as well, and I'm gonna do it with the most basic of implements, sort of as a, I don't know, if you're thinking that you wanted a fresh baked loaf of bread, because it is heavenly, and you just didn't know how to do it, how to start it, the ingredients are simple, they're acquirable, and the stuff that you need is not really that complex. I'm gonna do it all in basic apartment, college, you know, like kitchen set stuff. We're not really doing a whole lot with fancy fans, but I am gonna use the measuring cups and I'm gonna use Eutropius's whisks. So I do have a good place for that. But I've got my process a little bit down. This is the second loaf of bread that I'm gonna be baking in the shack. I haven't baked bread in the shack before. This is like the first. This is actually kind of like the beginning of an exciting era. But let me like start up here. I gotta lose the purple hoodie because I don't want to get it all gross. I gotta put my hair up, and then after I make everything, I don't know how long this is gonna take. I'll probably like catch a quick shower and rinse off before games because I'll be covered in flour and yeast. It's actually a lovely. It makes the whole house smell like a bakery. It makes the whole house smell like a fresh grandma bakery. I love it. I'm gonna try and do a rosemary olive oil. I'm gonna finish this cup of coffee first, so I wake up because I feel like I look tired. I had a restful day though. I needed the sleep, so I got it. I just figured I'd sleep in. It was quiet. It was nice. And then I was like, oh, it's a little bit later than I thought it was. Croissants would be, you need that quick rise for it, right? I got quick rise yeast and I got regular yeast. I'm gonna use the regular yeast tonight just because we're starting baseline. Yo, Cray, what is good, dude? It's so good to see you, man. Great stream last night. I know it was from your console, but it looked great. I was enjoying it. It was really cool. We're gonna get this bread. We're gonna get this bread, but don't ask too much of yourself right off the bat. We're gonna cut the recipe in half. We're gonna make 1 loaf of bread, because you can always make more. But we are gonna get this bread. I was gonna put the link in like the exclamation point recipe thing, but it's like it's just the first thing that comes up when you type bread recipe on Google. It's covered in ads. That's why I didn't want to link it on my channel, but it's really, really basic, and I'm gonna cut it in half. So I'll take you through what I did already. My only gripe with it the first time I did it was that it didn't. I'm gonna add a little bit more yeast this time, just so that it because I really want it to rise on stream. That's the exciting part. That's the emotional roller coaster that we're all gonna be on as this oven heats up, because we're gonna do the cookies as it rises. So let's hope this shit rises. Yo, you're welcome, man. I had a lot of fun. I thought you were killing it. I was happy to be there. It was just my pleasure, man. Rise, motherfucker. All right, let me take my nice purple hoodie off. And you get the bun for free, because if you've got long hair, you shouldn't be, it'll end up in the food. It fucking will. You know it will. Just put it up. That's sometimes I don't. I'm like a lazy stoner when I bake, and I'm like, you could have tried harder. Sean was right though. I should be wearing like a beard net. I should be if I was actually at a serve safe sanctioned place, I'd probably have to wear a beard net, or I'd have to shave. But that's just part of the mojo for the baked goods. I got a new tag on my stream for the baked goods that we're gonna produce here tonight. You just cut your hair. You went 5 years without cutting it. I got a bad haircut once, and then I was like, I guess I'm gonna have long hair now, because I don't ever want this to happen again. I know exactly what you mean, dude. Yeah, baked goods. It was a tag. It popped up as a suggested tag. I was like, fucking A. Yeah, baked good. I'm something of a baked good myself, you know what I mean? I have this like Jafar beard these days. I've been thinking about getting rid of it. I've been thinking about doing something different with it. I don't know. Stay tuned. Craig's giving me inspiration to get a haircut. I could use a haircut. Okay, so the first thing you do when you're making bread is you preheat the oven. We're gonna do 375 because we're gonna do the cookies first. But then for bread you want it at 350. You want it a little quieter. This is my my stand and stir show. I didn't realize that I had built a kitchen that was just like perfect for my own little like BS Emerald Lagasse show. But I am having fun doing this. So this is gonna be a project. If we actually arrive at the goalpost, we're gonna have something really cool to look at. And I have the chat up on my laptop too, so I shouldn't miss everything this time. I know what you mean. I'm starting to find like white hairs in my beard, and I'm like, oh shit, that was fast. Not even gray, just like straight up white, and I'm just like, oh god, I'm gonna become Gandalf like faster than we like. Don't. I think you gotta own that shit, Cray. Like it's we're in our I mean, we're in our prime, bro. I do look at that. I'm like, whoa, that's a big white patch of stuff in my beard. I might have pulled it out. Okay, so the first thing you do when you're doing bread is you gotta proof the yeast. I call it blooming the yeast, but they call it proofing the yeast. But you gotta get the yeast to like sort of wake up first, because it's an important part of the equation. Yeah, I arrive right when I intend to. Okay, and I don't really have a mixing bowl, so we're gonna use the saucepan. This is for you, NBH. I know you got one of these lying around. The kitchen does make it like having a space to work is really important because I'm gonna need the dough. I cleaned this area. I'm gonna need the dough right here, and so if you have like a big cutting board helps though. Like if you don't have space to work, and you can get a big cutting board, you can do it all on that. It's just it's a little bit harder, but. Oh man, and this recipe will make 2 loaves of bread. It calls for 2 cups of water. We're cutting everything in half. So if I start not cutting stuff in half, just remind me to cut shit in half. But it's gotta be warm. I actually make it hot, and then we're going to dissolve some honey in it so that the yeast has something to eat. Because the yeast is hungry. The yeast is hungry. It wants to feed. And we're gonna fucking let it. Measuring cup, courtesy of Eutropius. Which is actually kind of it's great for stream baking. Because it's got like, it's really like visible on stream. You know, that's a cup of water, baby. Oh yeah, right. You gotta feed the yeast. Yeah, it's hungry. we're gonna get this rosemary olive oil loaf kind of locked in, Knuckle Puck. I think I know what I did wrong the first time, and it wasn't even bad wrong. It just can be. It could be better. Good evening to you, man. Happy Sunday. Happy daylight savings time. It is fucking with me. It always fucks with me, but it is fucking with me this time. I got up way too late today. So just put that in our mixing bowl, aka saucepan, and then it calls for a 1/4 cup of sugar. And I'm gonna eye that up. Oh shit! I forgot there was water in there. I'm gonna eye that up. Oh man, hang on, let me clean that up. I'm gonna eye that up. We're also gonna remeasure that because that's a lot of the water that we just did. How could you forget there was water in there? You just put it in there. Okay. Here's my measuring cup. That's why I was nervous to do bread on stream because there's a lot more that can go wrong. And as much as I like to eye stuff up, you kind of got to get the measurements like half right with bread. You can go a little heavy on certain shit, but you kind of got to get the certain ingredients you kind of got to get right. Why was I even why was I even moving that over there? Okay, so we're gonna like get some of this honey that I've definitely had for a while. There's this guy. There's a friend of a friend who had bees, and he had like a shitload of this buckwheat honey, this dark ass honey, and he would just give it away. He had so much of it, and then the guy like moved or something, and I had like 2 of these things. I've had this for like freaking 3 years. It was totally solid when I went to take some of it out of here like 2 days ago. So I turned it upside down, and I figured it might come out a little bit easier this time. But yeah, this is just like this is honey that's been sitting around for a little bit. So if you got some honey that's been sitting around for a little bit. Just know that it still works. It still works, especially if you're gonna make bread. it's perfect for making bread because I feel like yeast really likes honey. Yeast feeds on sugar. Little backstory. Yeast and sugar. Yeast is the predator, sugar is the prey. But I feel like, and it'll eat any kind of sugar, but I feel like it really likes honey for some reason. It's got like, it's more, you know, primal. The yeast likes that. So we're gonna put a 1/4 cup of this shit in here. It's sticky. Let's see if it'll like actually pour this time. Oh, it will. Oh, but it's like so crystally. Oh yeah. It's so this didn't happen last time. Last time this was impossible to do. But since I like put it in the microwave, turned it upside down, wow, that's really hard to get out of there. Whew! You can, I could put this in the microwave for 10 seconds and sort of like soften it up too. That's actually almost, well, that's about half of what I need. Yeah. If your honey is, not behaving. Just a trick. Just give it like 3 seconds. Like 4 seconds maybe. Not don't leave that in there for very long. But like you know about some honey that's been sitting around. Yeah, you've been married for 32 years. That's a metaphor, a pun, and also just a literal truth. He's like, I got shit in the back of the cupboards, bro. Like, you got one of those Nestea, those little Nestea hot chocolate things that everybody had back in like 1992, and I bet that's still back there. But yeah, yeah, he's probably got one like this. It's got a little bit of hair stuck to it, you know, because it's been back there for a decade. That, I don't know if that helped at all or not. No, it did. It did. Oh my god, that's too much. It's too much. So when it's like this, when you just have to get a little bit more out and you just can't, you gotta open it up. You gotta open that bee up. That's why I got the butter knife. You gotta open that up, you get the butter knife. And you get what you need. Probably actually just a little bit more. This I'm eyeing up because you can have a little extra sugar. A little extra sugar in the bread is just, that's just delicious, you know what I'm talking about. It's also why you want to use the hot water, because it melts the honey a little bit. Okay, this is where I get to use my new whisks. So there's a couple portions of the bread making procedure that really you love the whisk loves. Yo, Nick, dude, what is happening, man? I was hoping I got the jazz all ready for you, man. This is like a little bit calmer. I couldn't find the other one that I was playing last time. But yo, dude, I hope you're having a great night, bro. New whisk. Who dis? But yeah, if you don't have a whisk, you just use the butter knife that you used to pull that out. But I'm just gonna use the whisk. It's hot water. The honey will just sort of melt. You know what I mean? You just want to get it like all dissolved. And I don't like to put, and a lot of people like to add all the stuff like right away and then add the yeast. I don't like to put the salt or the oil in because I feel like that interferes with the yeast. Like the salt's bad for like slugs and stuff, right? The yeast is kind of like the yeast is more slug than man. So you don't want to introduce the salt until it's had time to fortify itself. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like my version of, yeah, it's Graveyard and Bailey. We transitioned from, yeah, I really like how I transitioned the whole circus thing from like a live act into a more of a stand and stare kitchen show. I think it's better for everybody. Okay, so you get this. This is what you get. You get this stuff. You've seen it. It's at the store. Everybody walks past it. You just grab one of these. It comes in a thing of 3. I didn't use the whole first one, so this is what we'll be using. But yeah, you grab one of these motherfuckers, and if you're following along like right with me, we're using a cup of water. We're making 1 loaf of bread, and that would call for a ½ tablespoon of dry active yeast, which is what this is. I think that's what I got left in that package. Let's measure it. We get our lovely measuring set, courtesy of Eutropius. I got a ½ tablespoon right here. And I'm gonna add more. I added exactly ½ tablespoon last time, and I felt like it was struggling a little bit, sort of halfway through. Yeah, right? I'll work for way cheaper than Bobby Flay. Who's on the Food Network these days? Do I get to like hang out with fucking Alton Brown? Man, that'd be badass. Okay, so this is how I do this. Oh wait, that's a teaspoon. Okay. Alright, we're gonna just put that in. But we wanted ½ tablespoon. Which is much bigger. But that's the extra that I wanted to put in. So that's the extra that I wanted to put in right there. But yeah, you wanna read the ½ tablespoon. ½ tablespoon. I might not have enough. Okay, so now I gotta be really fancy here, and I gotta cut this one open while I got this open here. Can I do it? Can we do it? We can. Okay, that was kind of tricky. And then I like to just let it, you just gotta let it like hang out there a little bit. And then I just take the one that I cut the corner off there, you just fold it up and you save the rest of that for later. Yeah, I even dropped a little piece in. I grabbed it before it got bad. That was crisis averted. So you want to like make sure that your yeast blooms. Like if it doesn't get foamy and bloomy and frothy, like within like 120 seconds here, that means your yeast is bad and you need to start over. it sucks when it happens, but it does happen. And if you go through the whole process with the yeast that didn't bloom, your bread won't rise right. And so you do have to like pay attention to this. So if you're having a cup of coffee, you put that in the sugar water, and then you hang out here. You sip your coffee, and you have a look at what else is going on here. And I'm going to try and get this up close to the camera. So you can see when it happens. Can you see in there? There's just a big clump all together in there. Bread requires patience. We will get a timer going here in just a minute. I gotta get the bread. Well, the bread has to get kneaded, and it's gotta like start rising. So that's what we're gonna work on right now. Yeah, okay, this is perfect. I don't know if you can see this, but see how the yeast is like starting to bloom? It's starting to like foam and rise to the top there. That's how you know it's good. And it's kind of subtle, but like once you like when you first like shake the pot and you see it like it all like boop, it like pops to the top. That's what you're looking for. You don't want like any clump. If you've got like a big clump or something, you know, break it up. Which is what we had there because we did it in 2 spoonfuls. We're gonna see. Don't bet on the bread walker until you start seeing it rise. Okay. At this point, I like to get a cup of flour in there so that it can start combining, and then we can add the rest of the ingredients and not feel like we're like gonna fuck with the bloom too much. Oh yeah, man, I don't want to move it right now, but I should pull my phone over. But yeah, you could see it like that's actually really cool. You can see it like rising up to the top of the water. The key? No, I'm not that good. No. I mean, maybe, but with context clues. Maybe with context clues. I don't know about, like, the jazz, though. Yeah, that could, be funny. It'd be funny if I, like, took a guess and, like, got it right a couple times in a row. That would be interesting. I mean, that sounds like A. Yeah, it sounds like A major. Maybe like an F sharp major or something like that. It's not a sad key. I could definitely identify major and minor. But I think anybody can with just a quick like instruction. Maybe more than I think actually. Billy Strings, hell yeah, dude. I feel like I was at a festival that he performed at one time. I may have seen him background. I played in a bluegrass band for a while too, so I was like lucky enough to get exposed to a lot of really cool like random acts when I happen to be like playing around and shit. But I'm playing more. I play the upright bass, all kinds of basses, but I've been playing the upright for the last couple of years. And I was doing that like 6-piece, and then I was doing right before the whole like crisis. I was doing a solo jazz act, and that's sort of still what I do. I play on stream sometimes. So if I had my bass and I could like play the note that it was, I could tell you exactly. Yeah, then I could tell you what I was. Yeah. But yeah, that could be an F, that could be an A, that could be a C, that could be a D. Is it D? It might be the key of D natural. I'm not a guitar player, so I'm not good with like the minor fifths and sevenths and shit. So Graveyard got some bread flour. The bread flour is cool because it's a little bit more like supple. It's a little bit less coarse. We got bread songs? Oh yeah, dude. Who writes good bread songs? Meryl Travis. Meryl Travis writes a lot of good songs about food. What's that? Chicken frying size? Or I like that tune. That whole album that's on is fantastic. So the recipe that we're cutting in half calls for like 4.5 cups. I'm gonna put 1 cup in right away, and then we'll just like. Actually, I'm gonna put like half of that in right away. And I'm gonna whisk it up because we want consistency. With bread, it's all about making sure that the yeast is like consistently and like evenly mixed so that when it rises, everything rises together, right? Rising tides lift all ships. We rise together. It's hard to do it alone. So that's half the flour that the recipe actually calls for. I always think there's like not enough in there, but I think we're pretty good to. So what you've got right now is like the consistency of pancake batter, but you're working with a yeast thing, so you kind of got to move quick. Like this is a chemical reaction that's actually like kind of taking place there. So it calls for 2 teaspoons of salt. I felt like my bread was a little, it could have had more in there. I'm using my hand and now I'm like actually second guessing myself. Yeah, so that's about what I did. So now that that yeast has some flour to protect it, we throw the salt in there. I got a thing of rosemary. I don't have fresh rosemary, but I got a thing of rosemary. It's just dried. I didn't put enough in last time, so I'm just gonna like crush it up in my hands. That's about what I put in last time. So I'm gonna like triple it. So instead of 1 palm of rosemary, we're gonna do like, that's a lot. We're gonna do like 2.5. I'll do a little bit more. There was nowhere near enough in last time. I like to crush it up to like get it going all good in there. Wakes it up a little bit. Put a little thyme in too. It's daylight savings time after all, right? What time is it? Put a little thyme in. Just for savoriness' sake. I like to put a little cracked black pepper in too. Bread makers are like, what? It's trust me, just a little bit, But yes, bread's easy. It's salt, sugar, and shortening. So the next thing you put in is the oil, and also I didn't put enough oil in last time too, so I can do a lot more this time. It says 2 tablespoons of oil, and yeah, right, no way, dude. Like I think it needs a lot more. So that's a little bit, yeah, okay, that'll be good. There wasn't enough last time. And now that we got all the good stuff in there, let's throw another cup of flour in here. At this point, it's gonna become like not whiskable anymore. Like this is like the last stage that we can kind of think about using the whisk, because it's gonna start getting thick. But that's what we want. But this big whisk is nice. Eutropius has got a big whisk. Ooh. And then you wash that real quick, otherwise it gets really crusty and hard to get off. Clean as you go. If you wash a few implements like the whisk, and I'm not using soap, I'm just rinsing the shit off. You will thank yourself. Oh my god, that's such a bitch to clean when it gets dry. I had a little like accident when I first started, so I gotta move my stuff back into place here, and get my working surface situated. This is trash. Because if you have a countertop, and NVH is right, the countertop is so great. I'm really lucky that I have that. I'm really fortunate that I put that there. But if you have to do it on a cutting board, you just sort of have to like be ginger with your whole space. You know what I mean? Bitch to clean. Yeah, that's my. Yeah. Yeah, who do I collab on for bitch to clean? You think it's gonna be this like really like hard as fuck gangster rap album, and it's just like jazz songs about me baking things in the kitchen? Yo, what's going on? PRP, how are you, my man? I'm doing a loaf of rosemary olive oil bread. Or just Whisk. Yeah, just Whisk is the name of the band. Bread people love their oil. It's the truth. Okay, here's where it starts getting fun, though. Because, we've got enough of this to sort of put in here. That's our second, it's our second cup of flour. Okay. I'm gonna put a little bit more in, because you'll see how like, and then your surface, you put a little bit of that on there too, so. But I think this needs just a little bit more. And now's where you get your hands dirty. You sort of start like, try to get a little coating on all the liquidy parts. And really quickly, it becomes like a ball of dough. There's actually like a lot more room for flour in this recipe. If it's still really liquidy, just add a little bit more flour. It will be, if you're really tricky with it, you can keep it from getting stuck to you, but if you touch the liquidy parts, it will get stuck to you. And I'm surprised that I actually need a little bit more flour here. gonna take it slow with that. We're adding a lot of flour to this, but we're gonna need it. You gotta knead it. This is the fun part. So the recipe calls for at max 5 cups of flour. So we're at 2.5 here. So that's actually kind of perfect. Okay, I think we're at the point. At this point, we're getting past the liquid stage, and we're getting into like the dough stage. You know what I mean? I'm surprised that I need so much flour here. I guess last time I didn't put as much water in. Perhaps. But bread changes with like the way the air is on the day. You know what I mean? Like it's bread is really temperamental. So I'm just kneading it in here a little bit just to keep it clean, you know? And now I got a little flour coating on just about everything here, you know what I mean? Now you can take this bad boy out. See how you got some flour left down there? You just put that back on the surface. We're gonna work that in. Can you see this? Yeah, I'm at the edge of my frame, but yeah, you can see this what I'm working with here. And so it can be messy, but we've managed to stay pretty clean so far. Just sort of try and keep that as much off your fingers as you can. And it's just like the Patrick Swayze movie, man. You just do it exactly like you've seen it, you know, in the movies, in the documentaries. It's like there's no like secret trick. It's just sort of do it, you know. What you're trying to do is get all the powdery stuff sort of absorbed into one homogeneously wet loaf of bread. There's a lot of wetness in this loaf. I need a little bit more flour here. I think I'm gonna need a little bit more still yet. So you can see what I'm doing there. I think you can see, yeah. So once you've got like your flour sort of starting to like fully absorb, and it's not sticking to everything, that's how you know you're like right there. And it will look like this. This is actually perfect. So just sort of try and like get it all combined together into one even ball. One sphere of chemical reaction that is taking place. Dough ball accomplished. That's right, chapter 1 in the books. I like to let it rise right in here. There's a punch down phase to this that I normally don't do because Sometimes I punch it down and it never rises again. So I don't like to be all violent with the bread. Everybody's like, punch the bread down. Don't punch your bread. It doesn't. You don't want to be punched. It doesn't want to be punched either. So I put a little extra flour in here, just so there's no sticky bits. And I just leave this right in here. And then you want to cover it with something. If you have a towel, that's the best. I use a paper towel because it's easy and expendable. So you get a paper towel, you just wet it with warm water, and you just drape it over that bitch. Drape it over that bitch. That's the single on Whisk That Ass, or what was the name of the album? I'm gonna put this like right in the middle of the stove because I've got the oven on. So there's like a warmth coming out here. It's also doubling as a we're warming our pan. This is already like actually kind of hot to the touch. It's right under the vent. So once that's done with its first phase, we're gonna place it into that pan. We're gonna grease that pan. We're gonna put that in there, and then that pan will already be warm, so the yeast will like start expanding. Just knuckle puck. Yeah, just give it the knuckle. Just give it the knuckle, you know. So that's gonna take like half an hour to rise, which is the perfect amount of time to get these cookies going. You'll be covered in dough, so just wash your hands. So we wash our hands. What do we do next, Graveyard? I put some water on that, so that it's easier to clean. You kind of do need to have a couple paper towels around to keep up with that part. But it's relatively easy. It's flour, you know. It dries and becomes dust. And then it disappears. Okay. Covered in dough. Yeah, that's my new that's the new jazz album that does well. That's great, dude. That's really funny. So I have amended my cookie recipe because I have bread flour around. So my cookie recipe calls for 2 cups of flour. I'm going to use 1 cup of bread flour and 1 cup of all-purpose flour because it's going to make the cookies a little bit more like homogeneous and supple. Because we're using a whole stick of butter. So hear me out. I think it improves the recipe like big time. Pacifist bread. Yeah, and it's the music that you play for the bread really has a lot to do with it. Like, what did I play last time? I played Donkey Kong country music, and it worked okay. But I don't think I've played jazz for the bread when it rises. You can call me crazy, but it changes the frequencies that are like passing through the air, of which the bread is like drawing on for its like, expulsion. It makes a difference. Okay, I always forget the recipe for cookies, so I bet that's pretty common because they put it right here on the back of the bag. Oh, except for I ripped off the whole part of the recipe. Well, shit. Okay, we're gonna wing it. We're gonna wing it. I know it's 1 stick of butter, 1 egg, a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of salt, and then we're cutting it in half, so it's a half of that, and then a teaspoon of love, cinnamon. Yeah, I don't need a fucking recipe. I do need my coffee though. Yeah, I can do the cookies without the recipe. I've done it a few times now. Just put me in, coach. Put me in. I can do it. I don't need it. All right, yeah, because I really did rip off all the critical information from the corner of the bag that has like what I would normally reference. So okay, Knuckle Punk, put me in. Put me in, coach. I can fucking do it. I don't need a recipe. We're gonna combine our dry ingredients first. Okay. I think it was 1 cup. Was it half a cup? I'll know when I put it in the bowl, because I'll know what it looks like. I think it's 2. I think it's 2 if you want it to like go a little further, which we do. It's 1 cup of bread flour, 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Yeah, that's exactly, yeah. Yeah, that's right. I'm confident that that's right. 98% confident that that's right. .96% confident that that's right. Okay, and then it's half a teaspoon of this stuff. Half a tablespoon. Have a teaspoon. To the day I die, I'm gonna be fucking like unsure of this. Yeah, alright, we're doing teaspoon. Half of it. Baking soda. Might have a little yeast left over in there. That'd be funny if it did. That one cookie is like... Let's actually hope that happens. Okay, I use the finishing salt for this. But it's half a teaspoon salt. We eye that up. Oh yeah, and then my secret ingredient is like a waft of cinnamon. And Jima Sasu says add a teaspoon, like a whole teaspoon of cinnamon. I add this much. Like it's like just and it's there, like you perceive it immediately. Yo, Cookie, what's going on? How are you? It's so good to see you. I'm doing bread. I got the dough ball rising, and I'm gonna do cookies in the meantime while we're letting that happen. We're gonna have some cool stuff looking out here tonight. Curly, what is happening, dude? Hope you're having a great night. I get to use my whisk again. Hell yeah. We combine our dry ingredients. This is a fun way to use a whisk, dude. Because it's like, it's all like even, you know? Ooh, I'm gonna lose. That's just a satisfying way to do that. Okay. I have the butter out, but it's definitely still cold to the touch, so we gotta do our little butter trick. Auto reheat setting on the microwave for like 8 seconds. Ooh, did the sourdough today? Hell yeah. 3/4 cup that I try to cut in half. I remember that part about the recipe because that's the funny part. And it's we don't actually get that joke because I don't get to look at the recipe and really look confused because I cut it off the corner of the bag. But this is normally the part that I drool while looking off into the distance for 15 minutes while I decide how to do this. But I'm actually going to skip all that because I remember how I remember the solution that I arrived at, which I will just do right now. Because it's a half a cup of this and almost a half a cup of the other thing. That's what I arrived at. And you want to pack this down, but sometimes that's hard to do. So you know, you just sort of like do your best. But the whole idea behind this step is that we decided that we wanted more brown sugar than granulated because it's better for everything. Which actually, I'm kind of running low on brown sugar. And then a little of the granulated. This is a half a cup measuring. Just put like, you know, about yay. I don't know, we put a lot of brown sugar in there, so that's probably gonna be fine. And then I'm gonna rinse these out. What didn't I put in yet? We gotta do the vanilla. The vanilla, I don't even think you're supposed to use a measuring device with the vanilla. You just have to not put that much in, you know? That's enough, right? That might have been a lot, actually. That might have been a little bit more than I normally put in. For the, you know, for the lulz. The butter's pretty soft. It could be softer. But I'm already unwrapping it, so we're gonna put it in. One gold bar. I mean, brown egg. Oh, you did sandwiches with it? I've been adding just a slice of homemade bread to every meal, and it's kind of great. Like sometimes I make rice or whatever with it. Sometimes I don't. It's like a nice carb. I still prefer the fork for this next step. I really do. I've gone about it a few different ways. And Janella suggests the big spoon, which is a great suggestion, but I still do this sturdy fork. I like a sturdy fork for this. Okay. I'm not cleaning as I go as much as I normally do. Just gonna put this stuff away. We're done with our sugar and our flour and our baking soda and our vanilla. We're making good progress. I need that sturdy fork I was talking about. This can go in the sink. You gotta make sure that this stays wet. Like when you're doing the bread, the paper towel that you put should remain sort of like moist. That's a huge compliment. I'm actually a fan of the. I've watched quite a bit of Food Network in my day. So that's a huge compliment, my dude. I'm gonna move this over here just so that I have room to like show you how I do this. It's did I add everything? Yeah, vanilla, brown sugar, white sugar, butter, and the egg. What am I forgetting? I feel like I'm forgetting something in this. Either way, you sort of just, you gotta like, the butter is the star of the show here. You gotta kind of like mash it to the point that it will stir. This is actually gonna be tricky because this butter is not quite soft enough, so we're gonna have to like take our time with this. This is actually where the fork kind of does come in handy because you can like, you can go smooshy smoosh with the harder butter. If you got hard butter, do the smooshy smoosh, and you can kind of like combine it with the vanilla and the sugar and the egg on the one side of the mixing crock that you're using because you don't have a fucking mixing bowl that it's the proper thing that you're supposed to have this in. But we don't have one of those. But that's okay. It's actually better for a smaller thing because you're kind of going to use the liquid to make that butter nice and soft. It's like just outside of the optimal softness range. I guess you could put this whole thing in the microwave real quick, just to like, get it going. But you kind of like, I don't know, the butter being in tiny itty bitty little chunks, it's kind of good for the recipe because it's harder to work with. It's kind of a real pain in the ass to work with. But once you get it into the stove that way, like if you get it all the way into the cookie and into the stove, it like melts. Like the little pieces of butter like melt when they're in there, and they become like I don't know. They think they make a better chocolate chip cookie. Yo, Weena, we are making chocolate chip cookies and homemade bread. I'm doing a rosemary olive oil loaf, and that is rising right now. I can show you her in maybe. Oh, that's not the clock. Maybe like 20 minutes. We can take a look at that and transfer it into the pan. But as we are letting our bread rise, we're doing a loaf, or we're doing a batch of chocolate chip cookies because Graveyard doesn't have any snacks, and I need stuff to nosh on. But I hope you are having a good evening, Weena. I like Weena. But the butter's not quite soft enough, so this is gonna take a little elbow grease right from the get-go. I will get my recipe command working. I like the idea for that command. I didn't have a good thing to link to it tonight. But we're gonna do Toll House chocolate chip cookies. But I do have some nice. I got some nice chocolate chips. But we're gonna use the classic Nestle Toll House old school Massachusetts recipe or Michigan recipe. I think they originated in Boston, somewhere outside of Boston. Nora had that trivia for us last time. But this is what I'll do: is I'll just leave the stick of butter in there, scrape a little bit off with the fork, mix it in, add a little bit of sugar, do the same thing. You gotta keep it going. It takes a little bit longer than you do with softer butter, but I feel like that I was really proud that I got it like extra creamy, and I feel like having it a little bit more chunky like this is actually better because it's gonna make them pool in the pan a little bit more. I don't know. Feel free to call me out. Let me know thoughts. But I think I'm always changing little variables because they do really have like a cool like effect on the final product. Woo! That's really hard to do. when that stuff's not soft, man. I didn't think hard enough about that. Whew. I'm sweating. Okay, that's a pretty good. So we've got like a chunky sugar mix, which I'm gonna move forward with here. A little bit of your dry mixture at a time. Don't do it all at once. That's what makes it easy. For the way that I do it in a smaller bowl, I feel like the fork is good too because it allows me to just sort of like combine the ingredients in smaller little portions at a time. It takes me longer, but doing it with the right stuff in a smaller bowl like this would be, I think, harder. I always want to do this with my hands. And you kind of can't. Like, you think you can, but then you get in there and it's like, oh man, all the butter's gone because it's like melted onto your hands. I think I pushed this to the edge of the limit with the amount of flour to butter. But I want to get a bunch of cookies out of this. And I did put a bunch of sugar in. So, I think it's good. But if you want really buttery, chewy cookies, you can add a little bit less flour. And that's what I've been doing anyway. Sometimes, whew, that's like forearm power. Take a second and sometimes it does it on its own back there, you know, for a little while. If you feel that the bread thing is getting a little dry, just take a little, like, you know, take a little water on your hands and, like, spritz it on that. That's sort of what I do with that. I think the butter being in more of a solid form, because it doesn't combine as much like as a liquid, it makes this a little drier, which might actually be better for baking. Like they might come out like a little bit nicer actually, because that is not as sticky as it usually is. But that butter is still sort of melting in there. Those smell so chocolatey. I probably have enough for... This is probably one batch. I forget how many I'm actually supposed to put in. Like half a cup? I feel like this is like... I'm gonna put most of them in. I'm gonna leave like 2 at the bottom for me to like snack on a little later. Ooh, that is some thick cookie dough. Whoa. That is some thick cookie dough. Whoa. That is hard to mix. Wow. Whoa. Wow. I think I actually really did get the whole process perfect that time, but man, that is legit, like, right at the edge of the envelope cookie dough. Like, it's a little dry, but I feel like it's gonna be perfect, because it's always wet, you know. This stuff is always like, always really, really buttery. Clean as you go. I'm gonna let this sit up for a second because I feel like it kind of needs to. But that's, man, we might get more than 2 dozen out of that. That's perfect. You don't have to go crazy. You can just take the time to wipe a few things down with a wet paper towel mid-adventure, and you'll really thank yourself. I always constantly remind myself of that because I don't do it. So if you take the time to do it, you will have a nice clean space to enjoy the fruits of your labor. I peek. How long has it been? About 20 minutes, actually. We can peek. I didn't think that had risen that much, but that's actually pretty effing big. That's like probably 1.5 to almost doubling in size. You want to let it double in size. That's the the gauge, you know. So at this point, I think we're like ready to transfer that into the pan. We'll let it rise a little bit more. I'm gonna put some olive oil in this thing to sort of grease it up. And that's about ready too. And we're making a rosemary olive oil loaf, you know. We don't have to skimp on the olive oil. want it to stick. Use plenty. Having a loaf of bread that pops right out of this thing when it's done is the coolest thing. We're baking. We're baking. You want to get it to fill the pan, but remember, we're not trying to be angry with our loaf. We're not trying to punch it. I like to be gentle with this. But then I take that paper towel that we were using before. I get it all wet again. Warm water, if you will. And this can go right in the sink now. We don't need this anymore. You want to get that soaking right away because it's got that yeast. It's got all that yeasty flour stuck to the edge, and it'll get like it'll get really hard to clean if you let it dry and become hard. So just put it in the sink. Fill it with water. Put it in the sink. Okay, and that needs another like 30 minutes to rise. It should anyway, if we're doing it right. And I think we are. Oh, we're on the boat. I think we are doing it right so far. It's so good to see you, Eutropius. Happy Sunday. Hope you're having a lovely evening. You as well, Cathedral. We're loafing. Did the Szechuan pork stir fry. Oh yeah, the caramelized peanuts and the ginger rice. Yeah. Man, that sounds fantastic. Ooh. Ooh, I'm not doing enough ginger rice. That's a great idea. What am I doing over here off camera? I'm just putting these away. It's an instructional show. I don't want to hide anything from you. Everything we do together. Because if we do, then we can achieve and arrive at the same point together. So I'm just organizing, hanging up my shit, keeping it clean, you know. I do think the place looks okay, though. So 30 minutes on that. That's right by the vent, so that's gonna stay nice and hot. Let's get the cookie sheet, aka the only thing that we have to put in the oven. It's a cookie sheet. It's a cookie sheet. I'm taking my time, but I think we're moving along. I can only I'm really I can look at chat. I have my laptop up. Oh man, the spies are here. Are you doing reconnaissance for they're doing reconnaissance for I thought American only bake hamburger roll. They bake bread and cookie. Yeah, it's so good to see you. If you're practicing corporate espionage, I'm sure there's no more valuable place to be than my stream. They're trying to steal my recipe for this rosemary olive oil loaf. They know I got it wrong last time, so they know. So they're here now because they're like, he's gonna try and get it right. He's gonna try and get it right this time. God, they're so smart. That's why they're spies. Hello, Dennis. It's so good to see you, my man. That's the thing. You can't like the pressure and stuff is different over there. Like they wouldn't be able to produce the same result if they wanted to. I'm looking for olive oil. It's in the same fucking place that it always is. But welcome in. Does it say Soviet? The Soviet Union collapsed, my man. He's like, oh, this shit! No wonder they are not answering my secret spy phone. Why does the Russian have a French accent? I don't know. I wasn't ready for that. The Soviet, bro. If you're spying for the Soviet Union, you might want to get on the internet. Because that shit collapsed. Okay. I feel like having a grease pan is actually going to be really important right now because we stretch that butter pretty thin. But let's see how thin we stretched it. Did I do everything right, man? I'm really flying by the seat of my pants here. Yeah, I think they're the only ones that are employed currently. I think the Russian spies are the only ones they're the only ones drawing a regular paycheck off the fucking the federal funds. The cookie dough is so thick because I used 1 part bread flour. It has a higher gluten content. Oh. Oh, cool. Oh, good call. Oh, man. Mr. Bacon, Soviet spy, is like, oh, yes, very good. The golden nugget of information that I needed for my superiors. Ah, yes. Boris, come quick. The bread flour makes it thick. Oh, that rhymes. That makes a lot of sense, but I think it's still gonna. I did try this once before, and they did pool normally, but I pushed the envelope a little bit with this one. So we're gonna see how it comes out. Let's see how it comes out. Ooh, wow, yeah, and I let it set up a little bit. Yeah, wow, that's thick. Those are, yeah, that's like, we can just drop those right on there. Hey, man. It's kind of perfect. You don't, I have the light off because the bread doesn't like, the bread is like, it's sort of, like, it gets embarrassed. It doesn't want to be out until it's baked, you know? Ooh, this is thick stuff. I could actually just form it like with my hands. I was doing 8 last time. I did like 2 and then 1 and then 2 and then 1. But I think this time I'm gonna do my my normal 6 at a time. Is that why it doesn't call for it? It might not be like the most desirable. Yeah, it doesn't hold the chocolate chips as much. This mix. You know, see how they kind of fall out. Okay, moment of truth. And that, you want that to be like 1 inch off the pan. It's always like, that's a lot to ask for, but I feel like we'll get there. Okay, what did that go in at? 9/11. 9/11. 9/11. It's 9/11. Never forget. Never forget when you put your cookies in, because it takes 10 minutes to bake them. Pizza flour has an even higher gluten content. I got the pizza flour yeast, or I got this stuff, which I thought might make something. I thought I'd start just making pizzas from scratch. That sounded good. Yo, Sandals, what is happening? The bread is rising. It's doing its second rise in the cast iron pan. We've got... Oh yeah, it's not 9/11. It's 10/11. Oh my god, fuck my life. That light did absolutely nothing for you, but the yeast, the bread was like, no, hide. Toad, congrats. Oh, thanks for the cake. Congratulations. You didn't change your clocks back yet. But thanks for the congrats. I don't know what I did yet. Don't congratulate me yet. This cookie dough might suck. I changed it around a little bit. It's really thick. Wow! I could pick that up with my hand. I really could pick that up with my hands. Yeah, wow. This might be more of like a, I mean, I got the baked good tag up. I mean, this is gonna make like legit baked goods. Pro tip, if you were letting that pan soak like I maybe suggested earlier, at this point, all the crusty bits are now like kind of goopy on the side, and you can just wipe them out with your hand, and then you don't have to clean them ever, because they're gone. Ooh, she rising. Rise. Nice! How wet is that? It's still pretty damp. That's good. You want to keep your paper towel damp. I want my freaking hour back. Dude, I slept in as if I didn't lose an hour, and I am paying for it now. I'm paying for it now because it's 10:15. It's not 9:15 like it says on the clock. This fucks me up. It kind of fucked me up today. I'm glad that I'm here with you now because I just felt like I felt like I didn't do anything today, and I was already sunset. I think I like daylight savings time better. I just wish we would pick one and fucking stick with it. Because I feel like once I finally got used to standard just now, and now it's gone. Now it's gone. Really hope these cookies don't suck. Just pick one, right? I don't care what you want at this point. Just pick one. I should put some olive oil on top of the loaf when you go to bake it to make it really oily. You think olive oil on top pre-bake? I used to put like an egg white wash on the top if you wanted it to get really nice. One of the recipes says do it after, do olive oil like after after it comes out, like a focaccia. I wish I had oh my god, I do. Some nice ass olive oil that's infused with herbs or something like that would be perfect for that. I can't fucking believe that I actually have that right here. It's got the name of my town right on. I'm gonna cover that up just so I don't dox myself. I got some Tuscan herb olive oil. This was a gift from someone from a year ago. It's some Tuscan herb olive oil. That would be perfect for that. That would be perfect for that. Oh man. It's about the moment where I gotta have some chocolate chips. That's the one you do in a sheet pan, right? I've never made that before. That's the one you do as a bigger... Honestly, our glass pan would be perfect for it. With that olives and rosemary right on it. Yeah. Well, that'd be good. That's what they make everything on it, like Panera, you know? Like that artisan bread or whatever. Yeah. That our glass pan would be perfect for that. No, I've never taken a stab at a focaccia before. No pun intended. I feel like when you've got a place that is doing its own bread, they always have all those fancy different kinds of focaccias. They'll have a maple walnut focaccia and a tomato goat cheese. You can put anything on it, in the middle of it, and it gets really perfect. I bet I could do a sage, a thyme and sage focaccia with some of my herbs from my little patch. I really only have a sage plant that is established, and I have been sort of fucking off with it because I don't know. I got weird about growing stuff back there. I was like, are they putting I don't know. I got weird about the place I was growing food in, and I stopped doing vegetables, and I'm only doing herbs back there right now. Focaccia's easy and fun. We should do one. We should do one next. Once we get the hang of this, I like this because, okay, so I did a grilled cheese. I didn't think this would be great for grilled cheese, but I did a grilled cheese with this the other night, and it worked. It was like, it kind of made a grilled cheese. Like, it was perfect. I was really surprised because I feel like homemade bread's good for a lot of things, but sometimes a crispy grilled cheese is not one of them. But yeah, if I could have like, I'm gonna do this for like a little bit, and then once I get sick of that, I'll migrate over to a focaccia or something. That's kind of Ryzen. Ryzen 7 processor from AMD. But you don't want that to dry out. So I take a little bit of water and just make sure that stays wet. Because it'll make you'll get your crust made in the oven, no problem. But you don't want that to get too dry, because then it'll stop rising. Ooh yeah, the dipping bread. Yeah, you could make it in. Honestly, I could probably make it in. I could probably make one in this. You know, and then we could cut it in little like pie-shaped wedges. Oh man, cast iron focaccia? Yes, please. That might be fucking perfect, dude. Oh yeah. Cookie time. Let's see what's up. They need to go just a second. I feel like that's a classic. We run into that problem every time. That's actually kind of really going. If your oven is on, it might be exhausting out of that burner. I don't know if I know what you mean, but it does have like a vent right here where like a lot of the heat comes out, so that's why I have my that's why I have the bread there. It's pretty warm, right? It's not like hot right here. It's hot like right here. Actually, it's coming out on this side way more. But yeah, it's not I just wanted it near the warmth, you know what I mean? So that it stays like yeah, the pan's not hot. It's like lukewarm. It could be warmer. I think if it was warmer, it might even rise faster. But yeah, having this, the gas stove is great because it has that like it's got hot air coming out of it, you know. So it's great for baking bread. Keeps things dry and it also keeps things warm. Rising things like to be warm. Okay. These are different yet still. These are a little bit more... These look more crispy. They did pull out though. I was kind of worried they wouldn't because that stuff's so thick. You always slam them on the counter and they come right off. Like you just like conk. That like that. I think these might come right out of the pan because they're much drier. Oh man, I've come so close, Smurf. I've come so close. When I do this, honestly, I haven't had a real mishap live, but when I'm doing it by myself, I drop shit all over the place. It's a fucking mess. So good to see you, by the way. Oh, it sinks the middle. Oh, I got you. I don't want to go banging around because the bread needs to stay like you can settle the bread too much, but with too much activity. They're actually no, they're soft. Yeah, they're good. Ooh, these are gonna be the perfect amount of doneness, but they're gonna be a little drier. They'll be good for coffee. Yeah, look how they slide on their own. A little bit less buttery, a little bit more like of a confection, you know? Ooh. These are gonna be kind of good, I think. So these are a little bit more wholesome home style. They're maybe not in a glass pan, yeah. Man, I had some beautiful steaks that I made one time for a girlfriend. And the pan, I put the glass pan in the broiler to finish the steaks off, and the bottom of the glass pan completely broke and fell out of the bottom of the thing when I took it out and shattered all over the place. And there was just these two beautiful steaks with like broken glass like all around them, but like none of it actually touched the steak because the bottom fell out of it. And I remember like the person that I was making the other steak for did not want to eat it, and I was like, "This is beautiful. I think it's fine." Like, and I ate the one, and the other one, and they didn't eat the other one because they were so convinced that there was broken glass in it. But I'm still here today, and that relationship did not last. But I thought it was fine. I was convinced that it was fine. She did not think that it was fine. I remember I forgot all about that. Yeah, it was a pan like this. It was a square version of this pan. It was square. And I pulled it out and the fucking bottom just fell right out and smash! And it was just all over the place. I was like, holy fuck, dude. Don't put a glass pan in the broiler. Don't put, and Eutropius is like typing that right now. Eutropius is like, well, you put a glass pan in the broiler. You're not supposed to do that. I learned that later on. I learned that later on in life. Don't put a glass pan in the broiler. I'm trying to keep a good bead on all the liquidy, or there's some more drier dough at the bottom of the thing. I want to like form that all together and make a cookie out of it so that it doesn't stay too dry at the bottom. That's what we're doing with that one right there. But this is working out. It's honestly, it's easier to work with when it's dry like this. I can pick exactly how many chocolate chips I want in a cookie. Yeah, that's like, you can't add any more flour to that. That's hot. 9:29. I think a little bit of extra yeast is looking pretty good in there. You would have ate the glass steak. That's why you're a real one, Cathedral. I was just convinced that I didn't think there was any glass on it. Like, I was sure that no glass got on the steak. But even if there was, I was like, you'll know, right? You're not gonna chew it, right? And then I thinking back, I'm like, maybe that's dumb. But they were really nice steaks. No glass in the broiler, no foil in the microwave. But they show you they show you how you can put foil. You can put an ice cube in tin foil and put it in the microwave, and it won't cook. That's just like an experiment. Maybe that's not. Eutropius is like, yeah, but that's not what I'm saying. Let's try these bad boys. Let's see what's up with these cookies. Oh, wow. Oh, they're soft. Oh, wow. Oh, that's perfect, yo. Oh my God! Look at the melty chip. Oh, it's not too much flour at all. Oh no, that's perfect. Oh, that's fucking chocolatey and delicious. They're just bigger, you know? They're just fluffier. There's enough sugar and butter in that to, like, do anything with. Oh, yeah. Oh, my. Those are fantastic. Those are really good. Wow. Who's buying a dozen of those here? Wow, those are really good. The Pyrex glass wouldn't splinter. It would crack. But to be honest, it's probably fine to eat at that point. Yeah. Yeah, because it shut. The little pieces that came off of it were like, it looked like when a car window smashes. You know what I mean? Like there weren't shards of glass like when you bust a beer bottle or like a draft glass or something like that. Which actually it got warm today and one of my things that I had outside broke. But yeah, that makes like razor sharp like shards, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's tempered glass is different. What did I say? 29? Man. How long is this gonna... We're gonna get like a fucking legit ass. If this gets big, if you can get it to rise up enough without falling, once you put it in the oven, it'll make like that round top. Like that's always like. Ooh, a little bit of extra salt I think was good in that mix too. That's good. Ooh, we do the stromboli. What kind of dough do you use for that? I love stromboli. I've never made one on my own. Oh man, yeah. Calzones? Yeah, why don't we just make... Isn't it... Yeah, calzone is just like ham and cheese and sauce inside of dough, right? We can make calzones. Or, yeah, it's fucking pizza dough. I want to start making my own pizzas. I'm just going to start making pizzas from scratch. Because it's going to be summer. We're going to be able to get fresh, cheap veggies and ingredients around here. I just keep a bunch of those around. I could chop up a pepper, have some leaves... and a piece of pepperoni, and I can put that on a pizza, and then we can make that. We can live on that all summer. If I get good at making pizza dough again, we can live on pizza. We're gonna live on pizza all summer. That's my plan. That's my plan for us this summer. Stromboli is normally bread dough. Okay. Yes, I will be. I will be on as soon as we conclude baking stream. I'm gonna make dinner. I'm gonna eat food, and then I'll be back on for more laps on laps on laps on laps on laps on laps. I'm enjoying grinding the laps. Calzone would be the pizza dough. And what's different about so you just get that 00 flour, right? You get that high gluten 00 flour, and you do everything the same way. You use the pizza yeast, and then everything else is the same. Tomato Bros. I've never heard of that. Is that like a chain? Yeah, we can do barbecue chicken pizza. I can chop up some of this lovely chicken that I've been getting, and we can just, man, I used to live right next door to this place called Frank's Chicken and Pizza, and they made the most bitchin' barbecue chicken pizza of my life. It's not even like hard to do. It's just like when it's hot and delicious and fresh and crispy and ready and right there next door. And Frank, God, that guy was a fucking whack job. He was cool. He was really cool. I used to have a t-shirt. I used to have a Frank's Chicken and Pizza t-shirt. I think I lost that in the divorce. That was my favorite t-shirt. Calzone's basically a pizza folded in half. Correct. But a pizza folded in half is a wedgie, right? Isn't that's there's a term for when you make a pizza and you just straight up fold it in half and put it in the oven. Like that's called a wedgie out in Western Pennsylvania, right? You basically make a loaf for the strom, but you put you get that loaf of bread with filling in it. So I could use bread flour for the stromboli. You're gonna want that 00 or the high gluten for like a pizza. But I mean, you can use regular all-purpose. It's just gonna be a little bit more like a flatbread, like more of a thin and crispy, but it'll still rise. Yeah, a wedgie. I think it's spelled the same. A wedgie, if you Google it, I bet it comes right up. Yeah, wedgie is a pizza folded in half. They make the pizza normally, like it looks, and then they just go whomp, and they put it in the oven, and then they fucking drive it over to you. Like you do triple rise. Okay. Those butter noodles, yeah, wedgies. I didn't know what a wedgie was until I lived in Pittsburgh for a little while. That's not on the east side. But they're good. They were good. I mean, I had one time, and I was like, it's a giant stromboli. This is a big ass fucking calzone. It's a calzone, just bigger. Buttered noodles. Buttered noodles. Things your parents make for you that you never ever make for yourself. Like if I'll do noodles, but like fucking buttered noodles. Yeah, you don't think about it. It's a funny dish. Yeah. So do the Pittsburgh folk have a name? Is a swirly like a name for some pizza discovery or some pizza baked good that I never actually discovered? I want a swirly. I'll make you buttered noodles. I don't use butter. I'll use olive oil and spices and be a little cheese, maybe a little Parmesan cheese on top afterwards. Wedgie is when a person type wedgie Pittsburgh pizza. It can also refer to a type of wedge-shaped heel. Oh, like the PF Flyer, like the shoe that makes you run faster and jump higher. $39. Man, that thing is rising. That's right at the edge of done, but I feel like that's good for these. They're like more like little morsel cookies, which is kind of good. Sometimes I don't want a massive cookie. Sometimes I just want a little nibble. And then sometimes I just want to eat 2. Maybe 3. Oh wow, those smell heavenly. Those smell so good. I feel like if I form them all together, it will be perfect, but they have a little tendency to fall apart. But they'll bake together nicely. Look at me, acting like I know what I'm fucking talking about. There's definitely at least another batch here. I feel like we're kind of pushing the limit on the bread. Like it should really go in soon. $43. But it doesn't look like it's stopping yet, so if there's still like active yeast in the bread, you want it to rise, because as soon as you put it in the oven, the yeast will die. Oh yeah. Whoa, baby. Yeah, these are really home style. A wedgie is a sandwich made with pizza dough instead of bread. Popular item in places like wedgies are cut into wedge shapes. I guess it's a sandwich. Should ask Zing to clarify that, actually, I think. I have round steak, provolone cheddar, mushrooms, french fries, tomato, all inside the wedgie? Maybe. Casillo al pepe. looking for an image of a wedgie. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, if you don't put pizza stuff in it, then yeah, I guess it's a sandwich. Yeah. And that's actually, yeah, the Castillo al Pepe is probably more like the sandwich wedgie version. If you just type wedgie Pittsburgh and go to images on Google, you'll see what we're looking at. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at her. What should we name her? Really, the good chocolate chips make these, like, good no matter what. These are fucking fantastic, man. I was worried that these would be subpar. But these are really good. It's like a fluffy sandwich. Yeah, it's like a fluffy sandwich, but if you put some pepperoni, cheese, and tomato sauce in there, and not like cheesesteak stuff, then it's like a pizza sandwich. Yeah, it's like a pizza sub. The ultimate Pittsburgh steak wedgie. I didn't realize everything's like steak. It's all like the steak. That's like their version of the cheesesteak, sort of. Rosemary. Oh, perfect. Yeah, that's been our show. Rosemary. Anne Rosemary. Never forget. She baked her bread on 9/11. But she didn't change her clocks back, so it wasn't actually 9/11, so don't worry. But still, never forget. It's so fluffy. It's so fluffy. What do you think? What do you think, Eutropius? 2 cuts down the side, or 3 on the top of the bread? Okay. Alright, okay. And you want me to paint some olive oil on the top of it to give it a little glisten? Okay. You gotta be careful with that sometimes. You don't want to manhandle the top of the dough because it will fall. I don't have a little brush. I don't have like a bakery brush or whatever. Do I have a razor blade? No, but I got a real sharp knife. My French knife is pretty sharp. This knife is pretty sharp too. Actually, that might be sharper than my French knife. It's not a fresh razor blade, but I think it's sharp enough. I have a sharpener. Like, I have the stone thing. I never really... I feel like it gets, like, little pieces of metal in your food when you use it. I don't know. I always think that when you see the chefs doing that. careful with knives, kids. They're dangerous. This paper towel is doing like so much work keeping this bread safe. She's just like busting out. And the paper towel's like, no, not yet, not yet. Solution: broil the glass dish and use the sharp edge for the wrist. Okay, I can just hit it with the sledge. It makes like an irregularly shaped blade. It's sort of difficult to work with. Alright, so does it have 10 more minutes? I mean, yeah. It's gotta go in soon. Man, that thing really fucking rose. A little bit of extra yeast goes a long way. That thing really rose. Okay, 2 minutes on this batch, and then we're gonna do the last batch of cookies. We're gonna drop the temperature on the oven, and then we're gonna put the bread right in after that. We're like really staggering it right at the edge. I don't know if I could have moved any faster. I just did the cookies real slow. But this is, yeah, this is 6 more. Well, maybe I can fit another one on there. And then we'll start getting this ready. And then I gotta make fucking dinner too. I gotta like eat something before I stream tonight. Or it's almost like I'm streaming right now. Give it a little dusting of flour on the top with my sieve to make a snowflake loaf. Yes. Should I make a little? Oh, you want the razor blade for fine work, so I could actually do some artwork on top of it. Oh yeah. I should have like saved a little piece of dough so I could make like a sunflower or something. What's for dinner? Chicken and broccoli with fresh baked bread. I think. Or no, chicken and kale. Chicken and kale, because I already ate the broccoli. Yeah, I was going to do fried greens tonight. Oh, yeah. They're a little bit, yeah, this is a different batch. This stuff always comes out a little bit different, you know? Should have known that would happen. Ooh, and that little bit of cinnamon always makes it smell like, it always makes it smell like a little Christmas village to me. Yeah, if you're gonna use, okay, so what did we learn today? If you're gonna use bread flour, you gotta use a little more butter. or a little bit less flour. These are just a little bit too tough to work with for me to recommend, but they're coming out. They're like, I think the bread flour makes them like really soft and supple. This dough is interesting, man. I'm learning so much about the ways of the world. This dough is dry until you hold it in your hand and it gets warm, and then it becomes like solid again. But otherwise it's like dusty. That's so interesting. Okay. Final batch, 56. That should be the redeem. Make you bread art. Ooh, I bet I've never actually tried to do that, and I bet I could do that. You're welcome, Eutropius. Sleep well. Get some good rest. I hope tomorrow treats you as good as it can, and I hope you have smiles. I will be thinking about you. Sleep well. Sweet dreams. Okay, so what has to happen next? I'm getting quiet because I'm getting hungry. I do think that being patient, like we could have put that in at any time, but being patient has, I think, done us good. We're gonna have like a really like light and fluffy loaf of bread. You can let it go too far where you get like really big air bubbles in there, and then it's like you'll just have like a big empty space inside the bread. But I don't think that's happening here. I think this is just like, because we're using the old style like non-quick rise, so you can let it go a little longer. Quick rise yeast would have already been there, but we'll give this batch of cookies 6 minutes, and then we can put this bread in. Then we can get this bread. could smoke some weed. I mean, that might be nice. I haven't done a dab, I haven't really done a dab all day. Or no, that's not true. I did one. That's not. I was like, wait, is that true? No, that's not true. It's almost true. We've got 5 minutes on this. It's perfect time. You plan any Unite tonight, Sandals? I think I'm gonna have to pass 30 minutes while this bread goes before I can actually start my my thing. So I'm thinking I'm gonna hop on and play a couple Unite matches while the bread bakes. So I will be available for that here in a like not too long actually if you want. Let's get a little Dabarino in here. We got some of this Gasinade live sugar in the stash right now. It's actually not my favorite. I'm not a huge fan of this strain, but I figured I'd try it. Knucklepug, Knucklepug's like, how did he get us to do this? How did he get us to log on? Knucklepug's like, I'm paying to watch bread rise. This is great. Hello, 2025. You gotta let it marinate. Well, alright then. Let's turn this down to 350. get the snacks out. Whew, alrighty then. That one's chocolatey. Look at that. Well, this one looks like a little scone. A little chocolate chip scone. Whoa! That's a monster. That's the chocolate corner. Whew, alrighty then. Hello. Yeah, baby. Wow. That one looked like a little scone right there. Hello. Chima, hello. I've inspired you to make cookies. I'm so happy. I used bread flour in these, and they're a little different. They're a little more formy. Like I can form them with my hands, but they're still really soft and fluffy. Man, I'm gonna be snacking on these for a couple of days. What is this? So what did we get? That's our last batch. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we got exactly 2 dozen. Yeah, we got exactly 2 dozen cookies. Cakey. Yeah, I guess a little bit. Oh, yeah, I guess that is the word I was looking for. Yeah, I guess a little bit. They're soft and chocolatey, but yeah. I didn't anticipate that they would add like a really hard to mix factor to the dough. You know, like they really have a lot more gluten in them. Eutropius pointed that out. Sasu unites. Oh man, yeah, Sasu unites. She unites her team, and then she unites like a banshee. She's good. Oh man, I'm loving Snorlax. The age of the Snorlax has arrived. I have been doing okay with that. Woo! Okay, that will, alright, we can turn the light on now. The light that doesn't do anything. 350. You guys ready? Oh, it got a little dry on that side. That's why you don't want it to dry out. But it's okay, it's not a big deal. We didn't lose anything. But even when you do that, I feel like it starts to fall right away. You know what I mean? So... $30 minutes. Snorlax is broken right now. No, Snorlax has waited his turn. Snorlax has been very patient since the beginning of the entire game. I picked Snorlax as my starter on day 1 when I was playing this game 2.5 years ago. I wanted to be Snorlax, and It's so funny that my build is the one that like got the buff. Like block wall and fast lax is like awesome right now, and I've already got it. Like my build is already assembled and perfect, and I just plug it right in. I'm off and running fast as fuck. Like I could jungle with Snorlax right now with how fast he is. Like it's stupid. Like, but I can finally play block wall. And on remote, block wall blocks entire lane paths. So if you do it right, it's so powerful. Is that Gmaz? She's got some great Snorlax emotes. It is definitely not the age of Cerulege. No, it's not. He caught me, Escarada. Yeah, I literally chased down a fucking cat. Like, you saw that? Yeah, you saw that. And I'll solo queue with it. And I bet the people whose team I'm on love it. What time did that go in? 10 after. Okay, so at 40. Yeah, I got like my emblems and my fast lax build is perfect, and that's what they buffed. It's so great. Woo, that's too hot. That's hot. That's way too hot. Don't touch that, because it just came out of the oven. Fucking moron. Oh, I didn't do the cut. Shit. Oh well. It doesn't need it. I got my big knife out to do the thingy, and I didn't even do it. So that's gonna be done in 30 minutes. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking about ending here, and then going to go. Yeah, we're cooking golf balls. I'm making golf balls, and yeah, I can't afford them at the range anymore. White shoes. I gotta cook up my own. So we got some clay from the woods, and I have a batch of golf balls going in. No, we did chocolate chip cookies, and we did homemade bread that we just put in the oven. We've been rising it the entire stream. And then these are the chocolate chip cookies that we baked. Some home style, soft, cakey, buttery, delicious snacks, because I needed snacks. How are you, man? I hope you're having a good night. This creepy boo is so great, Sandals. I like this creepy boo. Okay. So what's the vote? Do I leave this on for a half an hour? I think I'm gonna end. I think I'm gonna end here. I'm gonna go play Unite. I'm gonna play like 2 matches of Unite while this bread cooks, and then I will pull it out and I will post pictures in the Discord, and I will fire up my stream soon as I finish eating dinner, which I have to do as well. So you if you were here for if you were here for the if you were here for the reveal, just know that if you were following along, you get a reveal of your own. But if you're here for the reveal, you might have to catch it in the cord, because this is the part that takes half an hour. My oven light's been burned out for so long. Where do you even get those bulbs? But this is the part where it's just like, it's gonna start expanding real quick, and then it's gonna get all crispy and hard on the outside. But yeah, yeah, get on Unite. I'll pop on here in like 2 minutes. But yeah, let me read out. Who's on? Who are we raiding? Yes, Spuds is on, my man. Bunch of people are on. Cryonics is on. A couple of cats playing golf. The Pokemon channel is airing cool stuff. I will be back in about an hour, so give Spud some love and let's race. But I want to play a little Unite, so if you're on, I'll get in a room with you, Sandals. I will be back. If you're sleeping, good night to you. Sweet dreams, Cathedge. Okay, I'll see you later on tonight.